Hello everyone, we are here to organizing a debate competition between two groups and our topic is the French Revolution laid the foundation of democracy. So let's see what will happen and what would we conclude. French Revolution laid a foundation role of modern democracy by overthrowing the monarchy. The French Revolution took the Enlightenment ideas and used toward their cause. It gave rise to new modern ideologies based on concept of power of people like liberalism, socialism, communism, and nationalism. The first clear expression of nationalism came with the French Revolution. How can you say that the expression of nationalism came with the French Revolution? There were many revolutions before French Revolution like Glorious Revolution, Greek Revolution, American Revolution. England restarted a democratic form after the Greeks. The French had only revolution for the want of proper democratic practices, but the idea had created much before. If we talk about the Glorious Revolution in England, we found that they only taken the powers of monarch, but the French abolished the monarchy. Taking powers of monarch is not called be a democracy. In fact, if we talk about the Greeks, especially from Athens, are described as the father of democracy. And true, indeed they got the ball rolling. However, the Greek form of democracy was nothing compared to what we know it today. It wasn't representative. It was only for choosing few of elites. In fact, women, slaves, poor couldn't even vote. The French Revolution was a middle-class revolution against the privileges of aristocracy and the clergy. It wasn't intended to establish democracy. Few years after 1789, the French Revolution became the most scrambled powers between the group of middle class and politicians and professionals. The Jacobins became the terrible dictatorial group and so did Napoleon Bonaparte. The French Revolution was revolution against aristocracy and clergy, but events like storming of Bastille forced to establish democracy. And most of the European countries had made their constitution on basis of France. When the French sneezes, rest the Europe catches the cold. This war was the first time that there was claim of voting rights to every section of society. More importantly, separation of power by Montesquieu, social contract between citizens and government by Rousseau, etc. brought to light for the first time during French Revolution. And the French has a huge impact on liberal ideas, which is foundation for modern democracy and functions and ideals. Also, our Indian reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Rai, kings like Tipu Sultan were also reflected from the French Revolution. Most important legacy of French Revolution included the ideas of liberty and democratic rights. Colonized people work again on the idea of freedom and bondage into their movements to create a sovereign national state. So it can very well to say that French Revolution laid the foundation of democracy. In this debate, we conclude that there were many revolutions before French Revolution, but they can't be called fully democratic. Hence, French Revolution laid the foundation of modern democracy.